Today we're going to be testing out this Tacklife random orbital sander. Cost about $40 on Amazon, and I've never ever used a random orbital sander before. I've used orbital sanders, but not random. So the other sander I have has a rectangular pad. It does not spin, it only orbits in an oval. This one does both. It's supposed to be more versatile and faster. So I'm going to try it out. It has a Velcro loop and hook type pad here on the bottom, and has a variable speed control from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 max. So 6 different settings going from 6 to 13,000 oscillations per minute. Has its own storage bin here, and I'll show you how that works. Basically, you pull this thing up on each side and lift, and then the whole thing comes off, and then you can just empty your sawdust. Now supposedly this thing comes off. I mean, it does come off. I tried to use my Tacklife vacuum, shop vac, which I got expressly for the purpose of connecting it with these kind of tools, and the fittings don't fit that, so I need to get some adapter so that I can use my my vacuum with my power tools that make sawdust. So I'm going to put this thing back on. Some people complained that this was hard to do. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's that hard. And snap this thing back on. Okay, that's on. It's got a little filter in here as well to keep the sawdust out of the air. When it's running, you have these 8 holes in the bottom, and you got to line up your sandpaper discs with them so that the air can go in there and then be blown into the collection container. So as a testing experiment thing with this thing, I'm going to take this cutting board, which is an old cutting board, and I want to refinish it. So I'm going to sand it down. I'm going to first use Ace Hardware 60 grit discs, and then it comes with a pack of, I believe, 12 discs. 6 of them are 80 grit and 6 are 180 grit. And I'm going to start with the Ace Hardware 60 and work my way up to a finer grain to finish it off. And we'll see how good a job it does, how easy it is to control, how fast it works. Now this is a hard wood. I assume it's maple because it's for a cutting board, and so it's not going to cut through as fast on this kind of hardwood as it would on a softer wood like pine, but we'll see. So let's clamp it down to the surface to begin with so it doesn't move while we work. And all right, that's clamped down. Let's get now they say for safety reasons, unplug it if you're changing sandpaper or working on the tool. So I'm putting a new, starting with the 60 grit disc, and I want to line up the holes so that the vacuum can work properly. Okay, so they're lined up. And I just push it on. There's maybe a 4mm overlap off the outside. This is a 5-inch disc on the 5-inch pad. All right, I'm going to put on my safety glasses. I don't think I need hearing protection because it didn't seem that loud when I tested it out, but we'll see what happens. I'll grab some ear protectors if it seems loud when I'm using it. So I'm going to start out. I don't know how fast I want to do this. So I'm going to set it on the 3 setting, which is sort of in the middle speed. And we'll plug it in. You want to make sure it's off when you plug it in. So you got an on-off switch, is 0 and a 1. 0's off, 1's on. So I'm going to press 1 and we'll start sanding. Get this wire out of the way. All right. Pretty quiet, so let's see how it goes. Working fairly fast. So I want to get the cut marks off to start with. And they say don't push down on it, so I was screwing up by pushing down on it. They say just let the weight of the sander do it. You don't want to stay on one spot too long, otherwise you'll cut it unevenly. So I think I've got, I've pretty much removed the cutting marks there. So I'm going to turn this around to get the side that was clamped. I'll turn it the other way and get that side next. And we'll see. This should, I think this should work out pretty well. We'll see. All right. The sandpaper's holding up well. Let's do the other side. Going over the edge a little bit. Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to turn it on a faster speed to see if that makes the job go faster. or how much faster. I've got it on max now. Let's see what it does. Well, that's faster, and it's easy to control even with one hand. Now, what I'd like to do is see if we can get these edges. So I'm going to, let's see, slide this down here, and about like so. So I can get two of the 4 edges. Get this edge and that edge. Whoops. Mine's just taking so. Oh, no wonder. Okay, that's good. Now we'll get these edges. Turn on. Okay, I'll get the other 2. No, let's do this. All right, let's do this. So I'm liking this tool so far. It's easy to use, and it is working much faster than my plain Orbital sander. Let's get this thing centered. Now we'll flip the thing over and do the other side. So that's that side. I mean, you can see that here's the unsanded side. Looks like a mess. And here's the sanded side. And this was the coarse, with the coarse sandpaper. So it should really do nicely when we get the medium and fine sandpaper. Alrighty. See how we're doing here. Okay. Let's do this. Yeah, so I'm doing all this on high speed because I don't have any reason not to. Let's check, see how difficult it is to empty this collection cup. So I'm going to take the lid off the top rather than, I'll try to. And then they said unplug it when you do that, so we'll unplug it. For some reason, I'm having trouble. And there we go. Don't know why that's stuck there. So you can see so that's a lot of sawdust that collected. Put it back on. Alright, that's back on. Plug it back in. We've got to switch this board around. this end. And then after we get this one done, I'll pause the video and repeat the process with the 80 grit and then the 180 grit sandpaper. I'll put some food grade mineral oil on it, and we'll see how it turns out. So we'll finish off just this one part that we missed. Okay, so show the board with the first layer done. Get that into the camera so you can see. So you don't, most of those, just about all the scratches have been sanded out. We got the edges here, there, the other side, and then I'll just go down to the finer grits. I'm going to pause it now. So what I'm trying here is, instead of clamping it down, I'm just going to hold it to see if that's difficult. The motion of this thing doesn't seem to throw the board around that much. Yeah, that went much faster that way. So I just did all surfaces of the board in much less time without having to futz with the clamps. All right, now we'll switch it over to the fine grain sandpaper and do the same thing. Here the sanding has been completed and a coat of mineral oil has been applied. Here the board is turned over so you can see the other side. Thanks for watching.